Kinnick, Executive Director of Eastgate Regional Council of Governments. Thank you very much for being here. We're talking about a new initiative that is being spearheaded by Eastgate and the Youngstown Warren Regional Chamber. It's an effort to increase the population of the Mahoning Valley.
Correct.
Why do we want to do that?
Well, first, thanks for having me, but it's important to recognize with the development that's going on in our region, the companies are talking about coming, the projections are staggering. We're talking about 5,000 people, additional jobs opportunities by the end of 26, and by the end of 2030, maybe another 20,000 jobs. And we don't have the workforce to fill those jobs.
And that's in addition to what we're already experiencing right now, which is a severe shortage.
Yeah, so and that's common across the country, not just in this area in the state, but across the country. But what we're experiencing also is through the last X amount of years, since the steel mills left, the decline in population in the city, and what's going on in the city certainly projects to the region. They say 7 people a day are leaving the area, and we have to stop and reverse that trend. I mean, the city of Youngstown alone was 160,000 people. 50 years ago, it's down to 60,000 people. So we're looking to reverse that trend and bring more people into the area, grow the area so that we can fill those jobs and keep those businesses coming here. And
that's a trend, like as you said, across the country, particularly here in Ohio also. We just lost some congressional seat. So how are we, let me actually pivot a little bit. Play devil's advocate. There are some people who would probably say less people is better. You know what I mean? Less strain on resources, less dense population. And then there are those who will say, no, you actually do want to increase the population, larger tax base.
Sure.
All of that's, a better, I guess, population structure. As we're experiencing here now, you've got a very small group of young people who are trying to pay for all of the health benefits for a very large, you've got that inverted pyramid. So I guess, why do we want to, other than just we're going to have all these jobs, why is it beneficial to us to increase the population?
Well, we're trying to revitalize the region.
Right.
Revitalization starts with a strong economy, the job growth, the potential for businesses to come will certainly grow the economy. To keep people here, a key element that we sometimes overlook is quality of life. You need quality of life to keep people here, to make them want to work, play, eat, sleep, everybody staying here instead of migrating to the south or out west. It's important for those people, the young people especially, to realize how good it is here. What we want to do is in this repopulation strategy, and part of that is going to be a marketing strategy. We need to talk about the good things going on in the area, how good it is here, low cost of living. You can't go anywhere else and buy houses or stay in apartments as cheap as you can here. Good jobs coming to the area. The weather, I've been here all my life, the weather's gotten a little bit milder too, and I do love the change of seasons. And then the attractions, the Mahoning River, the amphitheater, certainly the Covelli, the Warren Amphitheater, your proximity to Cleveland and Pittsburgh for the sports teams and the shows. This is a great place to be, and I don't think that we do ourselves any favors by not talking about or really bragging about how good it is here.
The weather has certainly improved in the last 2 weeks. If you had been talking to me 3 weeks ago, I'd have been like, I'm getting out of here. I was almost at my wit's end. Let's talk a little bit about what it is that you're going to be doing. So you got a little bit of grant money from the state. So you're going to be creating what? So
we did receive grant money from the state of Ohio through the governor's office of Appalachia. $279,000 to start with. If we need more, we could probably go back in the next fiscal year. But we brought in a consultant that specializes in building up a repopulation strategy and a framework. And it's a 3-prong approach where we're looking to retain the young people that we have right here, return some of the people that have left here, and receive immigrants and refugees and repopulate the areas. If you look around and I don't want to just focus on Ukraine, but that's the obvious one. We have 3 or 4 Ukrainian churches just in town, so that settlement took place at some point. We need to get back to that. It's not just to focus again on Ukraine, but it's bringing people here, repopulating the area, and starting those neighborhoods.
And so this is going to be called an Office of Repopulation.
Yeah, for lack of a better term, we call it a welcome center. We want to build it out. We're going to spend this first year. We're working with the offices in Cleveland and Akron that already do this, Global Cleveland. We're not reinventing the wheel here. They've been great partners with us. We're going to grow and take over some of their initiatives and see what we can do. We want to accelerate it too, because we need to grow at an exponential path. But part of that would just be, by the end of the year, coming up with an office, a framework, looking for additional funding from the state so that we could staff that office. But when we look at a welcome center, it's a strategy to bring people here. But when you get them here, you have to turn around and they don't understand our banking, our finances, our education, where the neighborhoods are. So it's really, I think, a softer term and probably more applicable term is a welcome center. And we want to develop that and have something set up in either downtown Youngstown or downtown Warner, hopefully both, where that's set up and that's successful.
So you talked about the three-pronged strategy of retaining people who are here, getting people who have left to come back, and getting refugees and immigrants to come here. Some of the efforts that you're talking about, the marketing and things like that, I think would apply to all three of those different prongs. But each of them is going to be a little bit different also. You talk a little bit about maybe some of the steps that you've identified particular to each of them in order to get people?
Yeah, great question. I think the marketing strategy that we're alluding to, really focuses on the first two, retaining and then returning. Again, that's just not talking about what we do well. And I keep telling everybody, I think it's a video that capitalizes on social media and just again talks about what we're doing here and gets.
I make videos, by the way. Okay. We do that here, just in case you guys are wondering.
No, we're looking at. I'm certainly.
I've got lots of B-roll you guys can use.
I'm certainly no expert on social media, and that's why we got to get younger people in that understand that strategy and can develop that for us. But that's what we want to do. We want to be able to just talk about the good things, show people what's going on here, show people the investment, show people the uptick in really our strategy and the investment coming to the area. When it talks about, I do believe that receiving immigrants and refugees is clearly different. That's really going to be a strategy to bring people over from overseas or other countries and bring them here and help them settle. So it is, I think the first two fall under a marketing strategy and really getting businesses around here in schools to talk to people and getting our message out. The third one is really more of a repopulation strategy where it is a welcome center and bringing refugees and immigrants to the area.
Yeah, it would seem to me that particularly with the first one, retaining people, getting them from a young age to understand what a great place this is to live, getting them involved in the community, getting them out to, there's so many people who live here who don't take advantage of the amenities we have. Getting the people to come back, I almost think in many cases it's just the other communities do that for us. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
They go away and then they go, man, this is expensive, or man, I hate this traffic, or whatever. And then
I got upset last month. I'm driving down Mahoning Avenue in Austintown. There was a big billboard that says, "Come to Columbus." I'm like, what are they doing? They get enough people. Why are they coming up trying to steal our people here? But no, it really it is a shame that we don't talk about the good things going on here. And I think it's really going to start, and it's more of a snowball approach when people start seeing the investment. We just look at what's going on in downtown Youngstown. Everybody's frustrated with the orange barrels and the length of time it's taken. Myself too. I tell everybody I love orange barrels because that's progress. But when it's done, you got to see the greater good of all this effort. The lights, the walkable city. I think it really will continue to help the investment in downtown Youngstown and continue to attract people down here for events, for dinner, for drinks. I think it's going to be a calling place for us all.
It would seem to me that the more complicated of the strategies would be getting the immigrants and the refugees here. That's got to be, and I would think that there's not even just a one-size-fits-all method that you could employ. It would almost have to be specific to each country and situation. So is that going to be a tall order?
It's a tall task for sure. I will tell you the consultant team's already staffed with immigration attorneys, again, work with Global Cleveland, understand the processes. But that's the real challenge here, is to make that work and make that happen and bring those people here. It's got to start somewhere, and that's really where the investment's going to be and what we're trying to do. But it has to start somewhere, and that we're going to start it this year.
Could you talk a little bit about where the initiative is now?
Okay, we really just got started. The funding didn't become available until last month, so we had to wait. the state of Ohio procured planners for us, and we got to pick from the list of procured planners. We found one that really aligned for what our strategy is here. So we'd really just, and we want to call it, we were hoping to be a little farther along, but because of the funding not available, we're just getting a start, but we're going to accelerate the effort. We think it's, it's a 4-quarter game for us. We're just in the first quarter.
Okay. So any projections or where
we hope
any
to be,
goals where
we're
you want to
going to
be
pick it up. We hope to be by the end of the year being able to show framework and really share the strategy to develop that office of repopulation or welcoming center.
Okay, and this is going to involve like a website or some
we'll have
campaign or something?
I think part of our marketing strategy was to develop a website, one-stop shop for everything we're talking about, but then also kind of rolling out what our strategy would be. I think it's important that through the steps of this process that we share with the communities where we're going. We appreciate this platform today to be able to talk about it. I need more people talking about it. And I tease, I never said repopulation before my life 6 months ago. Now I talk about it every hour. So
Right.
I love the initiative. I love diving in this, and I love it, Chase. And we're excited about the opportunity here.
And I mean, this is a community of immigrants.
It is.
One of the great things about it is you can almost get any type of food in the world, and you can get really good versions of that food.
Without
Do you
a
know
doubt.
what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I shared with just driving and noticing the Ukrainian churches.
Right.
And I'm like, this is exactly what this community is. It is a community of people that settled here.
717 Credit Union. Business services designed to meet your daily needs. Commercial loans, business deposits, merchant and payroll services. 717 Credit Union. It's knowing you were treated right every time.